Hello, my name is April Agronoff, and I'm going to be facilitating the Women's 8-Week Trauma Informed Yoga Series. I just wanted to introduce myself to those of you who might not know me so that you could get a little feel for my energy and personality, and to give you an idea of what the 8 weeks are going to look like in case you're feeling confused and you're thinking, I don't know if I want to do this, what am I getting myself into? Um, it's 8 weeks is a long time to invest in something, so I wanted to give you all a little bit more of an idea of what you're getting yourself into. So first of all, a little bit about me. My name is April, as I said. I am a clinical mental health counseling student. I'm working on my master's in counseling. I'm taking my last few courses before I start internship, and I'm especially passionate about helping women feel safe in their bodies. I have focused most of my studies on helping women with sexual trauma. So, if you're interested in joining and you don't have sexual trauma, that's not an issue. Trauma kind of works in a similar way, but sometimes there's some specifics for different kinds of trauma. But yeah, I've been interested in understanding PTSD, depression, and anxiety, and have focused most of my studies in those areas. So, what are you getting yourself into for the next 8 weeks? So, what I've envisioned is that the first week and the last week, right? The first week will be the opening ceremony, and then the last week will be the closing ceremony. And what you can expect in the opening ceremony is we'll be focusing, the theme of that day will be focusing on your attachment styles and how you relate to other people and what it takes for you to trust a new group, because you're entering this new group with the possibility to talk about very vulnerable things. So what does it take for you to trust? So we'll look at the attachment styles and how that impacts the nervous system. So I'll give you a little bit of an introduction to that. So throughout this whole series, we'll be doing journaling, we'll be doing psychoeducation on top of the yoga and the movement. So there will be journal prompts and then the option to share. Then the 3 themes that will move throughout the middle 6 weeks will be focusing on mindfulness and grounding. And then the middle 2 weeks will be embodied compassion. And the last middle 2 weeks will be starting to embrace the senses and reorienting to what feels good in the body. So the first couple of weeks, we'll be focusing on mindfulness, noticing sensations in the body and in the mind without judgment, without, going for whether you're bringing compassion or feeling good or not, just noticing what's there and being with that for the first few weeks. So a lot of mindfulness exercises and kind of some things that you can do if you get triggered. And that's just really important for anyone with trauma. I would say everyone has trauma, but there's different severities of trauma, right? There's trauma that creates PTSD, and then there's trauma that creates anxiety and depression and other issues like that, anger issues. Then the second middle core of it will be embodied compassion. So learning how to feel compassion, be compassionate in dealing with the emotional body. So some of the exercises that we'll work on is focusing on the mind and the nervous system. So we'll work on some exercises for retraining negative thought patterns. And so there's 2 different theories in psychology, right? There's cognitive behavioral, which focuses on that thoughts create negative emotions, and then there's emotionally focused therapy that focuses on that your thoughts are created by your emotions and your attachment styles a lot of the time, in your nervous system. So we'll do a balance of both, of looking at something as emotionally caused and then looking at something as thought caused, because my personal philosophy is that it's both, it's not one or the other. And so I've found both approaches useful. So we'll work on exercises with that, focusing on what your internal boundaries are for your body, what does no feel like in the body, what drawing some body maps, what feels safe in the body. And then the last theme is embracing the senses. So this can be especially triggering for women who have experienced sexual trauma, because lots of times when women embrace their senses and feel good in their body, other people interpret that as a reason to sexualize them. So this is creating a safe space for you to start to notice what feels good in the body, what are things that feel good, because in my personal opinion, you cannot regulate your nervous system if you're only being mindfully aware of what feels bad in your body. You need to learn how to feel good in your body. So, of course, this isn't only for people who have sexual trauma. This is for any trauma. Any trauma can make it challenging to feel good in your body. If you're having a lot of anxiety, you can forget how to feel good in your body. So when you slowly, mindfully pay attention to things that feel good, you start to retrain yourself and relearn how to feel good, which is just so important for regulating the nervous system. But sometimes, because that can be triggering, we're going to focus on that mostly on the last couple weeks. But you're welcome to focus on it throughout the whole series on your own. And then, of course, the last week will be a closing ceremony. So I wanted to introduce myself and give you all some expectations of what to expect, some ideas of what to expect. And please feel free to reach out to me via Facebook Messenger if you're seeing this on Facebook, or through email if you're seeing this somewhere else. I look forward to meeting you and speaking with you and working with you, possibly for 8 weeks. Talk to you soon.